So I made a comment the other day about how I really love watching the naked bootleg game from kind of the Kyle Shanahan tree, McVay, LaFleur, all of those guys. They do a tremendous job. McDaniel, all of those guys do a tremendous job with their naked bootlegs. And one of the biggest things to me is what I call a block naked. And so it's blocking up one of their guys and being able to free him up, because once he blocks, other guys think, okay, it's run, and eyes get taken off of these certain guys, okay? So, most people that understand football understand on a naked bootleg, you're going to have basically three elements. You're going to have something in this deep area over here. You're going to have something coming in the mid area on a cross, and then you're going to have something in the flat over here, okay? And so Green Bay had run a play, or a couple teams had run a play where they motion this wide receiver kind of in the gap, and he's the one that will sneak through there and run the corner. But just being able to find different ways to get to those same elements. So here they motion the wide receiver down, and they actually use him to kind of block and chip in this particular area, and he's going to be what we call a trail guy. So he's going to come out here late and be the trail guy. But you'll notice that as he comes down, basically him and the tight end are blocking this defensive end. And so anybody that's playing man coverage, and look at this, these guys are reading hats and bodies and blocking assignments. So you see the tight end come down and do a heavy block like that. These guys come and attack down, thinking run, what's my gap? And this is all you need. Oh, shoot, that's my guy, right? Right here. He's watching the tight end blocks, he hits, and then by the time Jordan Love comes out of this fake, boom, there he is. You got a step. He's able to turn the corner and almost get in to the end zone. So you're going to see a number of different unique things, okay? Oftentimes, kind of the old school way of running naked bootlegs. If we were running a naked bootleg this direction, the outside guy would be the one running the corner. The inside guy would block down because he's a part of the offensive line, and he's the one that would come out in the flat. And so here's where all the creativity comes in, is you see right here, both tight ends on the backside come down and block. Okay, so guys that have them man think, okay, they're blocking us. We're going to come down. They're going to use the inside guy to go to the corner, and then it's the outside guy that will end up going to the flat. And that little block right there, you see the eyes. And here's the thing, because these guys have man-to-man, I know a lot of people at home are saying, oh, they're in man-to-man, why are they looking in the backfield for a run? Well, they're also responsible for different gaps in the defense. So if they do hand it off, this guy can't just sit back here and go, oh, well, I had that guy in man and he didn't go out, so I'm good. No, when his guy blocks, down, he's got to take this gap to the outside, or he's got to take a particular gap. So that's why these guys come down and fill, because they have a responsibility in the run game. It's not just in the pass game. So you block long enough, block. Oh, I think he's going. Oh, and then it's just enough right there. Just enough to let me release through. And I got an easy touchdown right there to the backside. Beautiful design. Okay, so now we have the Rams. Similar type thing right here. Two tight ends. Okay, how are we going to do this? It's copycat league. The Rams run this a couple weeks ago. Did they steal it from the Packers? Did the Packers steal it from them? Different design completely, but inside guy is going to release. He's going to step down. So the guy covering him thinks that he's going to cut off a linebacker. That guy steps down. Outside guy is going to block and come off. And we're going to run our naked that way. And again, we get eyes down. They're reading the blocking assignments. They're ready to fill their gaps. Boom. By that time, we're off. Great spin of the feet here by Matthew Stafford to recognize this quickly. Come out, spin. Beautiful throw. But just that block aspect of things, freezing these defenders and getting down the field. And switching up who's running what, how we're running this. Okay, we're going to motion. Okay, so you see now, this is kind of like I was talking about. We're going to motion, and this guy's going to come between the tackle and the tight end. He's the one running the corner. We're trying to see if we can sneak him out. But this tight end here is going to block out. His guy sees him, block out. His eyes get caught up inside. Boom, he releases. There he is again, diving for the pylon, and a touchdown. So all of these plays have the same sort of elements, to them, but there's just different creative ways of doing it. So you're going to see right here that the Rams are going to motion Puka down. And so basically they've got three tight wide receivers right here. And then it's going to be their back that makes a fake, and he's the one that's actually going to go into the flat here. It's what I call a T-naked, a tailback naked here. But it's a beautiful design because if you're going to get man-to-man coverage and you're going to motion these guys down, the problem is it's the fourth guy inside that's got to cover the back. Okay, so if we were doing it, let's just say he's got one, he's got two, he's got three. Now maybe it's the safety that has three, but one of those guys has three, and then you're going to have four being this guy or this guy. Okay, so it's a far inside guy that has got to get out here and cover this back when he goes to the flat. Now, what they do with Puka here is they motion Puka right there, and then they actually send him in motion sooner than that. I actually would have loved to have seen them just go from here and then have Puka sneak back to this side, because now you're not allowing one of these guys, and it ends up being the safety, so it wouldn't have been as big a deal if it was, let's say, one of these linebackers was in here and having to cover one of these tight ends, and there was this fourth guy here that had to get through. Would have loved to have seen all four of those guys on the same side, but they're going to fake the jet sweep, and they're going to come out with the naked. And you see how hard it is for these guys as they're coming in there and they're blocking, for this linebacker to get through all of these guys over to this side and cover this back. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of people, when they run this, they'll run it in short yardage situations, this T-naked. It's so hard in man-to-man because the guy covering him has to come from way in here and get through this whole mess of guys here to cover the flat. So you see you get caught up there, right? This guy's going out to run the corner. He creates interference. This guy's coming. He's going to be the trail guy. Here's your flat, but it's bunching all of those guys up, really cutting off the edge, making that linebacker go through all those bodies, and that's all we need. You get caught up, you have to go over the top, something, we get all those guys to hesitate in who they're covering man, because obviously nobody's covering this guy, so they get messed up because all of our guys are in the same area, and we're able to pop the back out there, boom, we throw it to them, and another walk-in touchdown right here. The Rams are so good at running these naked bootlegs down in the red zone. Okay, I threw one on San Francisco here, and this is more of what you would call a conventional naked. Okay, so they're going to heavy formation. They're going to block this guy, and he's going to come to the flat. You're going to have your corner here, and you're going to have your backside tight end that's going to sneak to the cross. But it's, once again, just a little block technique. It doesn't get much of him right there, but just a little block technique down. And the corner gets caught up, messed up on the outside to spin him around and get a touchdown. But again, going out of heavy personnel. Okay, so we're starting here. Now we're trying to get man-to-man, what looks like it should be man-to-man because they're motioning across. Then they drop to I'm guessing a zone late. Now, I'm not sure. It looks like everybody else is playing some sort of man or attacking everything. But again, you block, slip him out, and he gets a touchdown as well. Okay. Here's another one with San Francisco. Okay, so got the wing here, and you're going to see Juszczyk being covered by Budda Baker. Juszczyk's going to come off and block this defensive end. Watch what it does to Budda right here. Okay, so we block out. Okay, Budda's saying, I got to hit this gap. I got to try to get in here and stop the run. Just that little block. Boom, now I'm slipping out. Budda's like, uh-oh, there he goes. That's my guy. Easy pitch and catch. I mean, look at all the touchdowns these teams are getting on the naked bootlegs down here, coming off the hard run action and creating different ways to get those different elements. All right, let's look at Miami here. All right, so this is unique as well. We got our two tight ends on the left side. We're going to actually run a naked bootleg this way. Now, I don't know if I've ever seen this done before. I've seen it done with the wide receiver. When a wide receiver is on the line here, they snap it, and he wraps back underneath, and he becomes the flat on the other side. I don't think I've ever seen this done with a tight end. So they're going to actually take the tight end that's on the line of scrimmage, the inside tight end, and he's going to jump like he's pulling, and he's going to be the flat guy. The other tight end's going to be the over, and they're going to run the naked bootleg from this look. Heavy run formation. Look at this tight end coming from on the line of scrimmage. Whoop. He's going to slide or should slip underneath that defensive end, but it's the backside guy that actually catches it here. If this guy does a better job of avoiding the backside, there's nobody covering him back there. But it's such a tough thing because, you've got guys, if they're playing man-to-man, these guys are playing man-to-man. They don't ever expect the inside tight end to be a guy that's going to pull and wrap to the backside on the naked bootleg. Really well done. You avoid that defensive end, my man. Either way, you're probably the one with the walk-in touchdown. Instead, it's the crosser from the backside. But just another look at the creativity within that Shanahan tree of naked bootlegs. You see them all down in the red zone. They're having so much success changing up the presentation to the defense and creating easy opportunities for their quarterback.